Yeah, it's your boy Danny J. Quick, and I'm here with Kyron Silva. And we want to thank you for joining the Foretales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Foretales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Foretales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 173rd episode of the Foretales podcast. I'm your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the, I gotta find something really quickly, that synonym, heliotrope novelist of Ace Blade, Dan J. Quick, and together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on Agents of Geekdom Network via Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. No TikTok today because I forgot to set that up. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. I literally forgot to set that up for TikTok, and it sucks.
It happens. It does happen.
This is all your fault.
This is only your second time back, so you're still easing back into it.
That's what she said.
Is it?
So what's going on, man? How you doing? What are you eating?
I'm just trying to feed myself because I didn't eat earlier today.
Okay.
So I got some hamburger helper that my daughter cooked.
Okay.
And
Like, is it just regular hamburger helper, or is there something different to it?
No, it's straight up hamburger helper. My daughter cooked because me and Tiana weren't home today, so we set it up so that she would be able to cook. She cooked, and now I'm eating it, and it tastes exactly like it tasted 20 years ago when I was eating this. So,
All right.
I think my palate has evolved since then. So, but I'm gonna finish this bowl. How have you been doing?
I'm tired, bro. This Kickstarter, if you don't know, I am running a Kickstarter right now. You can go to starcorecomic.com and make a selection there. Feel free to, maybe get the bundle of a print and book because I only need $22 more to reach the 60% goal, which is amazing considering I'm not even halfway through the campaign yet. So that's great.
Yeah, congrats, man. I think you seemed like you were worried the first couple days.
Oh, I'm still worried. I'm still worried.
But that's what Kickstarter will do to you. Like, if you have a strong, out the gate, like you did, you had a strong, showing out the gate, but it kind of weaned off just a little bit. And I noticed you panic posting, and but now it's getting there. So, man, don't even worry about it.
It wasn't panic posting. It was strategic posting to get, Shut up. You know what? Shut up.
I know panic posting when I see it. I do it all the time. But no, man.
You posted something earlier that I actually found was pretty cool. You want to talk about it, or
earlier?
Yeah.
The video for Battle of the Black Rose, maybe.
Yeah.
No, me and my wife, we went and wrote and recorded the Kickstarter video because my Kickstarter is launching on the 27th for Battle of the Black Rose issues 1 and 2, and I edited today, and we went around to different places. We actually went to a log cabin. We're going to film some stuff there, but I didn't feel right about it. Like I really am nervous about filming in public, and I couldn't I couldn't do it at the log cabin. So we did it. We did the last part at a Cracker Barrel, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm launching on the 27th, and we're actually going to have a crossover cover. I'm announcing it right here. We're going to have a crossover cover for Ballad of the Black Rose and Starcore, drawn by none other than Michael Watson.
Okay. Did you want to show? Do you want to show the video real quick?
No,
No.
no.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's just what?
It is on theme though because our guest today, Dan Bethel, is back. Okay, fine. Let's show.
My name is Danny J. Quick, and I'm the co-creator of Ace Blade and King Supreme. I've been making.
What happened?
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Danny J. Quick, and I'm the co-creator of Ace Blade and King Supreme. I've been making superhero comics for more than 10 years now, but I think I want to try something different with my guys at Bequest Studios.
10 years. Wow.
This is a new comic book about a young family starting a new life out in the Wild West.
That's a lovely door, by the way.
It's a noisy door.
And then everything goes crazy when a supernatural entity in the hills behind their home gets them in trouble with the law. And this story is called The Ballad of the Black Rose.
This was really you playing.
It's so sad.
Now y'all come on down to the Ponderosa and help us by supporting this Kickstarter. All right now, until next time, stay vigilant, my friends.
I gotta pause this real quick.
We're out of here.
Where's the pause?
Yeehaw!
Where is the... Look at... Does Tiana have like a mega king right there? It's like 4 stacks on that one on this one thing. That's like
She's got a super king. That's a flying king. It can literally move to the white.
I had to throw the yeehaw in there. Okay.
Yeah. That was awesome. All right. That was funny.
Nah, it was fun shooting it, and I was very nervous about it. So
It came out great.
Thanks. I hope people enjoy it, and I hope it gets people to actually check out the Kickstarter. So yeah.
Okay. I know a guy who can do some theme music for you if you want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My guitar playing is definitely not great.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy I know, he's also a comic creator, and he did a little ditty called the Quick Takes theme song.
Yeah. I might have to reach out to him.
Okay. I'm trying to bring him on, but the thing was like frozen.
Brother Dan Bethel is in the building. Thanks for coming back. I think is this your second time? This is your second time on the show or the third time?
Second time as a guest. Oh, third time as a guest.
Yeah.
Because there's the original one, there was the X-Men 97 recap, and now this. But I was also I guest hosted in Danny's absence one time.
That's right.
That's true.
And Danny, actually, I wanted to introduce you to something called a guitar tuner. This will help keep your guitar in tune. And I'm just going to give it to you right there. There we go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I need one too, sir.
There's no hope for these guitars in my house.
Cool.
I have 4 children, and they've all tried to learn. And in addition to me, I've tried to learn a couple chords, and it's just not
tried is the key word there, isn't it? It sounded beautiful. It was perfect for the video.
It was perfect for the video. Exactly. That's the point. No, thanks for coming back, Dan.
Of course.
For anybody who
Thanks
might
for
not
having
be
me.
familiar with your work, man, give us a quick rundown who you are and what you're here to talk about.
So my name's Dan Bethel. On the website and stuff, I go by D Bethel, but just Dan is fine. I've been making comics since 2007. The first comic I did with a friend of ours, a mutual friend who's been on the show, Evan Burgoon. We did a humor espionage comic called Ebon 07 about secret agent janitors. But for the last 11 years, I've been working on my own Western comic called Long John, which is actually about to wrap up after, like I said, over a decade of working on it. So the final chapter starts posting to my website, longjohncomic.com, Monday the 27th, the same day your Kickstarter goes live. And I'm really excited for everybody to see, not only to get this chapter out, but to actually for people to see how this whole thing is wrapping up, because it's been a long time coming.
Has it really been 11 years? Because I feel like I've known you longer than that.
2014 is when I started started the comic on his website. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what, Dan? I think I'm behind because I think I only have volumes 1 through 4. Are you? So you're not doing a Kickstarter for volume 6 or anything like that? You're going straight.
Dan does not believe in Kickstarters. He wants to give you his stuff for free.
That's the wrong word. The word is that I'm terrified of Kickstarters. Actually, so there has been some talk, and I've been politely bullied by some friends, Karen included, that this last book I'm probably going to be doing a short run of it, but probably in the not too distant future I'll be setting up a Kickstarter for the whole collector's edition. Yeah, over 200 and hold on, let me get the right number here. 200 and
yeah,
oh boy,
it's a lot. It's not these are not your standard 20-page books that he's producing. They're 30, 40 pages sometimes.
About 225 pages of book there. Yeah, each issue is between 40 and 45 pages long, something like that.
I love
it. And you're doing all the writing, all the artwork, all the lettering, all the coloring. I mean, everything is all you.
When I started, my beard was not gray.
That is
now I'm 80,000 years old. Whoa, what happened?
Comics definitely give you some gray for sure.
Yeah, I'm only 27 and look at all this, dude. That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
You need to do some meditation or yoga or something, Karen.
Or just take a bath, I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
Might just be dust collected. Who knows?
or just stop getting that paint in your hair. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
All that paint you're slinging around is just making you look great. It's deceptive. No, man, Dan, that's an incredible testament to dedication. Like I'm saying, a one-man show. I know this, like, to be a jack of all trades is an amazing thing, especially in comic books, because you don't have to rely on anybody else to get it out. I know that the teamwork aspect for a lot of people gets them caught up. So do you ever wish that you had a team to get Long John done, or do you prefer to work by yourself?
I think the reason why I'm working by myself is more a consequence of just my day job takes so much of my time. For those that don't know, I'm an English professor at my local university, and so I basically only get to work on comics during the summers and winter breaks, right? And so, like, it'd be hard to kind of leave someone hanging for 7 months straight before I'm like, okay, I can finally work on it, But also, I've thought about it. I've thought about working with other people for this. No, again, Eben and I we're co-collaborators on Eben 07, where we both wrote it, and then I drew everything. And there's a lot of benefits to that. Like, writing can go a lot faster. It's just bouncing ideas off of each other. But I think in a lot of ways I was collaborative with Long John, if only because, and Karen can speak to this, and I'm sure you've experienced this where you are, Danny. It's like getting sort of entrenched with the local comic creator scene. I have so many people I can just reach out to and bounce ideas off of. I'm like, hey, I don't know if I've got it today. And we're always supporting each other, lifting each other up, sending each other stuff we're working on. It's, I don't send anything to Kyron, but everybody else I do. And that's the important point. But
well, there's a balance there, because I send literally everything to Kyron.
There we go. I just know his inbox is full, so I don't want to.
And apparently, Danny, I send you everything also, including things I shouldn't be sending you. So.
Whoa.
I knew that was not for me, so I just disregarded it. I acted like I didn't see it. But if you ever cross me, I will be leaking those naked photos, Kyron.
This is what happens when you have too many people in your life with D in their names. It's just,
yeah.
Things. So, okay, you mentioned that you're doing this all on your own, but you have had other people help you with parts of the Long John series.
For sure.
What is that about?
So one of the running kind of things I've had throughout. It's only happened twice, but there's a character in my comic who's kind of a villain, kind of just a Mystique. Not that, yeah, not Mystique like the X-Men. But yeah, she has her own view of things, and she's definitely not nice. But it's a character named called the Hell Rider or Hell Rider Jackie, and she's, if you've seen her, if you look at the comic, any promotional material, she's she's in all black with a bonnet, and she's got a skull mask on her face. And I wanted to tell part of her story through her point of view, but considering how she has kind of one foot in the spiritual world, one foot in the real world, and also a little bit lost her mind, I wanted to see the world through her eyes, and I knew it was going to be very surreal, and I wanted to look really weird. And like, I know how I draw. I'm super cartoony with my style. And so I reached out to a friend of mine. We've been friends since we were 10 years old. We kind of started our art career together. His name is Josh Tovey. But where I went into like comics and cartooning, he went into fine arts, and he's a painter. He does, has stuff in galleries and shows and stuff like that. And he specializes in surrealist and symbolist art. So this real, like, real dark stuff, honestly. And I'm like, well, I know he could draw messed up stuff, but he doesn't do comics. So I'm like, I just reached out to him, hey bud, would you mind lowering yourself to draw a comic for me? And he said yes. And so he did 2 short stories with her, one at the end of volume 1, and one at the end of volume 4. I think 4. Yeah, it's volume 4. And really just fun looks at the way she sees them.
Now, one of the things we usually talk about
John the entire time, and so we world that he's inhabiting and interacting with through a very different lens, and it's nice to be able to provide that and have a friend that's able to do that for me. So yeah.
And one of the things we usually talk about with other creators is catching people's eye when you're at conventions or whatnot. And your first issues has a image on it that's very cheeky and it's very eye-catching. I'm going to show it here, but it's Long John with his butt hanging out. And it's very well known. I'm pretty sure you get a lot of people asking about it. But what was the idea of making that your original cover?
Desperation. For a long time I advertised myself as like the artist that doesn't like to draw, and so like whenever I do draw, I don't do a lot of sketching. I don't do like a lot of pinups and stuff like that. When I'm drawing, it's usually to tell a story. I'm drawing pages, right? And so I feel like I don't have like a real graphic designer's eye. I think that's a really specialized and important and different talent than making comics, although there's overlap. And so when I finished the book and I was like, oh, I should make that first book. It needs a cover. Dang it. What am I gonna do? And so what I did was like, I had this bookmark I used as just like something to hand out at shows, and it's just half of Long John from behind. It's basically half the cover, right? Where it's just with his butt hanging out and he's holding the gun. I'm like, well, I could just draw the other half and make that a cover and be good with it. And what's funny is like when I was at the very last APE ever, the Alternative Press Expo, a long-running show that focused on indie artists and indie comics in San Francisco, a guy came up to my booth and we were talking about comics for a long time. This older guy, he was super nice, and he's like, my wife and I are making comic, and he handed me this book. But like, he read through the first issue and he was like, this cover is kind of strange. It doesn't really match what the book's about. And like, that's a good point. Like, it is an eye catcher, but then the other side of that is, rhetorically speaking, is it catching the attention for the right reasons, right? And it's funny, the guy turned out to be Brent Eric Anderson, the guy that drew God Loves Man Kills, X-Men God Loves Man Kills, he drew a lot of the I'm like, oh dude I didn't know I was talking to that guy. I ran him down. I'm like, I just want to tell you, God Loves Man Kills like changed my life. It gave me the template out of the stories I want to tell. But like, otherwise he was just like, we're just talking comics. It was super fun. But he did make a good point. I'm probably never going to make any further single issues, but maybe if I did another print run, maybe I'd make another cover. But it's hard to argue that is not a eye-catching cover, especially it's almost like little kids walking by the table going, ooh.
No, man, I think that is definitely a skill. Like
Yeah.
the design part. And me and Morgan Iverson always talk about this. Like he has a natural affinity for covers. He
Yeah.
just knows what to put on the cover to convey, what it is in the story that's important to him. And I never have that. I always lean on the artist
Mhm.
um very heavily for the covers because
Yeah.
just in my experience, the artists know how to convey, you know, whatever it is that's important to them,
Yeah.
in their art. And yeah, I think that's a skill. So I think that's great that had that conversation and were able to come to that
Yeah.
realization. But at the same time, you said if it gets somebody to pick up the book,
That's true.
does it
Yeah.
does it really matter? Like
Well, like as you know, at a show, like part of the whole thing is the pitch, right? And you don't have a lot of time to do that. And
Right.
so, especially with volume one, considering that's probably the one I'm going to sell, and um, is what starts the story. That tends to be the one I hand them. And so I have to, part of my pitch is like I got to pivot from the silly, funny cover to go like, oh, this is actually kind of a serious story, you know? And
Mm.
so it's like there's a little runway I have to jump, or hurdle, I guess I have to jump over to actually get to what my comic is about. So like it's been an excellent way to practice pitching, but it's I set up a roadblock for myself that if I thought a little bit harder, I could have avoided completely. But yeah, no, but it all speaks to the power and importance of good design on a cover than that people. Yeah, there are people much smarter than I that have a really good sense of how to do that. I think part of once Long John's done, I'm going to be doing shorter stories, and that'll give me the time to maybe focus on that kind of design work. I'm like, okay, let's just practice this, right? I haven't had that kind of time in 11 years to practice the some of the skills that I've been wanting to improve since this thing started. So I'm looking forward to that.
You're doing a Western.
Hmm.
Danny is also producing a Western
Hmm.
soon.
Yep.
Is that Western genre still big? I mean, I'm pretty sure our parents and our grandparents
Yeah.
grew up on Westerns, but we don't see those a lot nowadays. Is there still a big demand for Western genres?
Hmm. It'll be fun. I'd like to hear Danny's opinion on this. I
Oh,
would say, I would say from my experience, no. Uh,
mm,
but
okay.
uh, but I think that's actually worked to my benefit, um, because even though yeah, it is a western, it's about for me it's about the character. I'm sure Danny would say the same thing. It's like about these characters and their stories I want to tell. It just happens to be set in 1881 in the eastern Sierra Nevadas of California, right? And so like one of the best compliments I've ever received is like someone in a review, someone said, I hate westerns, but I love Long John. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But I
I think
think
that was
part
my review.
of that's your review about everything I do, though. No, I hate everything. We need to work on you. Why do you hate so much, Kyron? Just joking.
I grew up in too much of a loving household, so I have to hate everything to balance out my life.
That's fair. That's
Mm,
fair. But I think to your point, I don't think people are against westerns. I think there's that stigma of like westerns are cowpokes and eating beans from a can and like it's kind of old. When I think what we need to do as people that create westerns um, is redefine that like a western isn't you hitting all these tent poles. A western is just a setting and a place and a time to set a story. In a sense, no different than setting a story currently or in the future or something like that, right?
yeah.
That you can tell any kind of story. And that like one of the biggest revelations I had as a budding storyteller was like I love post-apocalyptic stories. I love that genre. And then it wasn't until I started watching more westerns, I'm like, oh, they're mostly just westerns that are set in the future.
In the future.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
like okay, yeah. So I think just changing the mindset and breaking down that stigma. So it's just another tool that we can use to tell stories instead of saying like, oh, that's the thing my grandpa really liked, and anytime he tried to show me it, I was super bored. Right. Um,
Mhm.
that's the task. I don't know. What about? Do you think people have you been hearing that people are clamoring for westerns, Danny? Not clamoring
No,
might be a strong word for it.
not at all. I don't in my experience, I don't think I've met a single person who was looking for a Western.
Yeah.
Um, but I have had the experience when I told them that, you know, we have a Western, that they're excited about it. You know,
Yeah.
that if I'd say, as opposed to the 12 other books that we got, okay, we got all these superhero stuff, but then this thing that's completely separate from that, you know, we're on the second issue and it's a Western. You know, it's a family and it's got these supernatural elements to it. People get excited about that. So while I don't think people are clamoring or looking for Westerns, I think that it is great as comics to have that option for people.
Yeah, I think you actually bring up something really interesting. I can't remember where I read it, but some article was talking about superhero movies kind of becoming the modern Western, not necessarily in setting and type, but in terms of like oversaturation, and might be kind of limited to this time and place, right? And at some point, maybe a generation or two, people are going to be talking about superhero movies like us or kids now talk about like, oh, he wants to watch a Western, right? But again, they're just tools we can use to paint with. But I think you also bring up a really interesting point, like especially at shows, you're like, yeah, we got superhero books. There might be some, because especially at a con or a show, like superhero stuff is everywhere, right? But we've got this Western, and and it's got supernatural elements to it, and people might be like, okay, even if they don't like Westerns, they could be like, oh, that's interesting, and then that could be the sell, and then maybe it turns out they like Westerns that they didn't even know they had, but that they did. Yeah.
I mean, just the idea of having something different besides superhero has got to be great when you're trying to sell at a convention that's filled with all superheroes. You're going to stand out because this is something that nobody else has.
Right. Especially if your Western hero's butt is hanging out. So
yeah.
I'm going to use that for one of my covers. But
I've got that trademark. I'm sorry. the open butt flap is copyright Dan Bethel.
I'll put homage to Long John #1.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to pop out real quick to see if I can fix this lag, but I'll be right back.
Cool.
Okay. So while he's gone, we can talk about him even more.
Okay, good. Finally, so where do I start?
Jesus Christ! All right, so he threw me off actually with this whole I'm gonna pop out thing. I thought he was just gonna quietly leave and then pop in so no one knew.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about something else in regards to you. Okay, we have a question here. In your comic art, both artists, did you guys go to school for it or just learned on your own?
Do you want to take that first?
No, this is your interview, so that's sure. You,
I kind of went to school for it. When I graduated high school, I'm like, I want to do art. I didn't know what I want. I wanted to do comic books, but then I'm like, that's hard. And so when I went to junior college, there's a school called Allen Hancock College in Santa Maria, California. They had a really big art department, and they specifically had like animation classes, and like that was my jam, even though I was really slow at animation. So I did take art classes and I liked it. It was just a little more like, why did you pick this color of blue for this backdrop? What does that mean to you? I'm like, it was blue. But I did learn a lot of valuable skills there, obviously taking art classes in high school. But the thing that actually taught me the most was during my time at that junior college, I was recommended for the startup video game company that started in the area. They're looking for character designers and animators. And me and a couple other guys were chosen from the animation program to work for them. I mean, it was an internship, so I got zero money. And actually, when that company collapsed, I actually stopped drawing for like 5 years. But yeah, but all of a sudden having to be in an environment where like create characters quickly, this kind of vibe, show this kind of personality, and show them in different situations. And I already my innate or my not talent, but my affinity when it comes to drawing is always figure work. I like drawing people in poses and action and stuff like that. I like moving people around in like a 3D world and trying to draw it. So after that internship, I didn't do any formal art training, but I was always so a lot of those skills stuck with me. I would do life drawing stuff that I could find online, or just when watching TV, I'd have a sketchbook out and just like drawing what I see in front of me, just kind of keeping those skills going. But in terms of comic book page, like drawing comics, learning while doing is kind of the best way to do it. And because there's going to be pages, there's pages early and long, John, and even more like further back, beginning of Evan 07. Like I look at those, I'm like, those are bad. But I recognize that like I wouldn't be the artist I am had I not make those decisions, and that's why I wouldn't ever go back and redraw anything like that, because I'm like, I think it's bad based on the skills I have now. It does the job though, and that's I think the biggest skill. In addition to like the basics of learning how to draw, like figure work and perspective and all stuff, but like learning how to say that's good enough is one of the hardest skills to learn, but one of the most important skills to learn.
Yeah.
I do want to, since you brought this up, it segues to something else. Talking about animation,
Well,
you've actually been lucky enough to have Long John be optioned to become an animation
yeah.
For FX, I think it was.
That was, yeah, that deal fell through, but it's still under option through the company called Barry Linen Productions, which is a production company owned by Chris Pine and his business partner. It was at FX for a long time. They're still developing the pilot, or they're developing the spec pilot script to pitch as an animated series for sure.
Now, as comic creators, a lot of us dream of seeing our books as movies,
Sure.
animation, things like that. For you, going through this experience, is this something you would still pursue if you had to do this over again, or would you maybe not do it? Because it's been a few years now.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do want to make clear: I never pursued it. It was. I'm very, in a sense, very lucky that it just happened out of a reader out of Texas just like posted I think I was on Tumblr, like on a Q&A, like, did you base your character on this actor Robert Baker who was in this miniseries called Texas Rising? I looked it up. I'm like, no, but yeah, they look a lot alike. That's crazy. And so I put it side by side and put it on Twitter, and he was on Twitter at the time, and I tagged him, and he liked it and retweeted it. And then a year later, I got an email from him going like, "You ever thought about making your comic into a TV show?" I'm like, "Well, now I am." But it's never something I ever kind of
about that actually.
Right. I'm like, I never. I guess you think about it, like, who would play this character? But like, since I don't have any of those connections, I never thought about it. And I don't write TV, and I don't want to. I want to make comics, right? And so, but that sounds like I'm deflecting a lot. Like I think one of the things I've learned the most over the couple of years since even this thing was announced, because the back and forth lawyer stuff was going on for years before it was actually even announced. That part's not fun. I'll give you that. But if based on my experience, let's just say it this way, if with the next thing I do, would I pursue an option with the production company? Probably not. Just because, not because it's good or bad. It's one, the way it works with a lot of creators. I think it was recently, Danny, you announced like you're producing a short or a movie based on Iceblade, right? But keeping it under your control, right? Basically. And going through the traditional system where you get optioned, even in a lot of cases with big name people, the way it works out is that the person that created the IP, that's basically all they get to do is create the IP. That there's no real impetus or requirement for them to be involved in the creation of the show. Like obviously things worked out with like Robert Kirkman, right? And Todd McFarlane got to do that Spawn show because he was a millionaire, right? He was basically in control. Yeah, but in a lot of cases, like it's like the way the contract works is like, we want to option, which basically means temporarily buy or own the TV and film rights for your work, and we have a certain amount of time where we can make that happen. And so that, just because of how that transaction works, they have no obligation to actually consult with you, right? Obviously that would be nice, but because of that, I would never probably pursue an outside production company to produce one of my works. It'd be if I had the money and the interest and the time and idea to make it into a movie or a TV show or whatever, then I would do that, but only if I had those resources. But otherwise, I feel like I have more control. I have complete control over my comics, and that's where I can tell that story best.
I was gonna say it seems like even though it's option and they might have film and TV rights, you still get to do what you love to do,
For sure, yeah.
which is write and draw comics,
Right.
and as long as it doesn't interfere with that, because I have heard or seen things happen where a person can't even put out their own comic book anymore until until a certain time. So
right.
I think that is something definitely to be cautious about, because I would never want to stop putting out comics, putting out stories that I can make just because somebody has the option to do something with it later. That's so yeah.
And it's the thing is when you sell those options, like there's one thing, you might not be involved, but even if you are involved, there's still a good chance, because again, I don't write scripts, I don't write TV, I don't know how to write TV. It'd probably be fun and interesting, but the thing that always comes about, whether you're involved or not, is what if it's bad, right? And then like that can not only reflect poorly on that TV show or movie, but then like people like, they see your comic and like, oh, that show was terrible. Then you're like, oh, okay, I've actually shot myself in the foot here, to use a Western reference. But so it's always a gamble, and that's also part of the fun. I will say this, like, I know that the way I made it sound makes it sound like kind of sad, but the thing is, and this is what my lawyer tells me all the time, is like, no matter what, good or bad, success or not, Long John is mine. And whether my books become famous or whether they make a successful show, it's always mine, and so I always got to get paid, right? And so there's that, right? Like, it's to a point, like, especially with how long things go, you can get to a point where, like, I don't care if it's good or bad, just make sure that paycheck comes, and that's not a bad way to live sometimes,
Right.
You look like you had a question, Danny.
I did, but I was waiting for you.
Oh.
Everybody's so polite here. This is nice.
This is unusual for the two of us. We're usually stepping on each other and talking over each other. All right. So issue 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is issue 6.
Yep.
Starts on Monday. This coming Monday, the 27th.
Yep.
This wraps up Long John.
Mm-hmm.
What's after Long John?
Well, maybe a Kickstarter, but I think what I'm going to focus on next is kind of what we were talking about earlier, but especially with Danny talking about having the superhero books and having the Western. I want to focus on making some shorter one-shots, just so I have more options at my table, and that allowed me to stretch storytelling muscles. So I will say this: the next thing I'm going to do is not a Western. I think Long John's probably the only Western I have in me, but I do want to focus on some shorter stuff. That way, it doesn't have to be every 2 years. That's kind of how the schedule has been because of my day job. My books come out every other year, and so like I'd like to have. I'll be able to make a book a year. That'd be pretty nice, but at least for a while. And then I'm still deciding between a couple different ideas for what to do if I do another long form story. A post-apocalyptic idea is one I've been working with for a very long time.
I think you should do a book about superhero geckos.
I should.
I don't know why. I feel like you should do something about that.
I could. We call it, I don't know, Geck Force.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That sounds good. That sounds real good. Super
inside joke, listeners. I'm sorry.
It had to be something. I didn't know what that came from, but I was like, this has to be something this has to be some kind of inside joke.
Yeah. That came from the first time Kyron and I met. We were at a free comic book day show, and we started making up superhero geckos. That's as far as it went.
I like it.
No, we did. We actually did sketches of concept art.
Mm-hmm.
We actually did a script for issue 1.
I did a treatment for the first 3 issues. Yeah, and then you're like, yeah, draw it. I'm like, buddy, I just did a treatment for 3 whole issues. How about you do some work, man?
Was it actually called Geck Force?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I need to see it. I need to make that happen. Let me put.
Wait, I think I even made a logo for it. I might have that. Hold on.
That'd be great.
Copyright
Dan Bethel.
Dan, you don't have to do this one by yourself, man. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a letterer.
Excellent.
Kyron can draw. Like, we can make this happen.
So this would be great
if he draw too.
If he brings up the logo, then you, as a graphic designer, you should critique it. live on
Okay.
air. Let's do this.
All right.
Absolutely.
Come on, Kyron.
I did find it.
Oh, that's not bad.
Ooh, Gek Force. Okay. This is illegible. I don't like it.
You don't like that there's so much purple. He's stealing, he's trampling on your
He's
own.
like, it's too much purple.
The
Yeah.
purple is fine.
Okay, yeah.
Just
not
the
surprising.
fact that you can't, the Gek in it
Mhm.
isn't very legible.
Wow.
And the logo, it doesn't have any icon. What is it called? It doesn't have any icons to, like, if there was a little gecko in here somewhere, I think that
Oh
would be
yeah.
Mm.
but the colors are good. Colors are very good. And if it was a different font, it would be great. Like, I think it's just that K going up under it. Like,
Yeah, that's interesting.
if that was actually a gecko, like tail or something like that,
Oh yeah,
I
dude.
think that would be cool. But I think that I learned myself that the illegibility, like if you can't read it, it's not effective. So if you see it and you automatically don't know what it is, it's not effective. But with a few little tweaks, Kyron, that would have been great. That would have been
Feel free to go ahead and tweak it all up, dude.
I love
And then send him the bill.
Yeah. No, don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's time for quick takes.
Uh-oh.
Send Kyron the bill. Yes.
Let's hear that beautiful theme music, huh?
There we go. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Oh, wait, I lost. Okay, there we go.
I always forget about Titanium Daddy. Kyron, you're so weird, man. I don't remember how. Like that's what he. My name is Titanium Daddy in his phone for some reason. I don't know.
It came from
I
a
don't remember
weird
that
conversation we had
conversation.
about Colossus, and it stemmed from that. Like I'm pretty sure I can find the conversation.
I bet.
Kyron's brain works very weird.
Yeah.
So who knows?
That's why
Okay.
it's wonderful. All right. Quick take.
For anybody who hasn't seen the show before, Quick Takes is a rapid Q&A session where we grill our guests on their deepest, darkest secrets from the internet. But instead of that, today we're just going to ask you a couple questions to get to know you better, Dan.
Sure.
Starting with question number one. For
right.
all intents and purposes,
Yep.
y'all cover a wide array of topics on that podcast.
Yeah.
The latest episode I want to say it started off with the Matlock of Stargates.
Yeah.
And I love both Matlock and Stargate. So what can you tell us about all intents and purposes? For all intents and purposes
is a podcast I do with a friend of mine, Andrew Asplund. The whole premise is that we're just overeducated nerds that have known each other forever, and we have a wide variety of interests, nerdy and geeky interests, and we can just get together and talk about what we've been doing, or to talk about sort of nerd news of the day. Unfortunately, in the last 5 or 6 years, a lot of that nerd news has been depressing. But it's just a show where we get together, and honestly, after we've been doing that for 10 years, 11 years, it's just a chance for us to kind of hang out, talk about what's piquing our interest, and share our thoughts with our listeners.
I love it. I think everybody should have. No, I don't. I don't think everybody should have a podcast. I was gonna say everybody should have a podcast, but most people actually shouldn't.
No.
But I think that for all intents and purposes, is definitely worth having and worth creating, man. Just to be able to do like really specific nerdy things, and to discuss them with close friends and families. Okay, so question number 2. Now, I want you to be honest. Okay. In real life, are you more likely to wear a pair of long johns or pajamas, and why?
In public?
No,
or just
to bed. To bed.
Oh, to bed? Pajamas. Yeah.
Pajamas.
Yeah, just because I get hot, and long johns can be pretty restricting. Unfortunately, the butt flap opening doesn't let as much heat out as you want. It lets something out, but not as much heat as you might want. But I don't know if you've ever worn long johns, like actual not overalls. What do they call it? Long johns. Let's just call it long underwear. Like if it's not like made for you, like it can be tight in weird places, and like they're not particularly comfortable, especially like if you want to go historically accurate in the roll. It's just a no-go for me.
You gotta break pajamas. You gotta break. You definitely gotta break long johns in. But if you stay in a place that's cold, they definitely come in handy. Definitely.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So question number 3.
Got it.
we all love traditional comics,
Yep.
but there is an ever expanding market for digital comics. We got platforms like global comics now that is taking the world by storm. And you got
Yep.
webtoons,
Yep.
and then we got people putting them out on their own weblog. So do you think that web comics are the future of comics?
Oh, no. I think they are going to be a future mode of comics. I think they're going to be kind of on the shelf, so to speak, with traditional comics. The way that web comics have gone now, like webtoons, has almost become synonymous with web comics in a lot of ways. But I would also argue synonymous with a specific type of story and specific style. Even a lot of romance comics and sort of anime styled comics on webtoons that are super popular. But especially as the internet changes over the few years and people maybe start hosting their comics on their own websites, I think people recognize it as a really good way to get into comics, and maybe using it as a stepping stone to get a publisher, or perhaps just fund their own or create their own business overall. So I think it's going to exist alongside comics and hopefully join it on that level.
Absolutely, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think anything is great that can help folks make comics. The one thing I am scared about is all the AI, man. AI has gotten so
100%,
darn crazy, and people are using it for more and more things every day. And I don't understand why we got to use it to replace creators, because that's one of the things that is unique about humanity is that we're creators. So, okay.
So see how they never mention. They see how they never mention let's replace CEOs with AI, or
that would actually be a better idea.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, bro, but yeah.
So you need someone to make heartless decisions. Actually, let's let an algorithm.
Let's let the computer do it. Yeah,
solving problems on the Four Tails podcast. That's what I say.
It might as well just be like Two-Face, just throw a coin up in the air.
There we go.
There it is. Question number 4. So I recently, as in literally an hour ago, found out that you are a fan of my favorite movie, Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. And in The Last Dragon, in the beginning of the movie, the master says, Bruce Leroy's master says, you have to experience confusion, fear, envy, and love in order to reach the glow. So how, if you had to train somebody how to reach the glow in comics, what would you tell them are some of the main things that you have to go through in comics to make it?
You have to go through bad art to get to good art. You got to go through finishing something, even if it's like a 2-page story, to get to the next thing. And you need to not be afraid to go out there and meet other artists, to put your stuff online or make little zines, because meeting other creators will actually save your career, whether independent or professional career. The community, even if it's all through talking online and stuff like that, is one of the most important things we have as indie creators. And keeping yourself out of that network is going to do only more harm to you than good, I would argue. So those would be my 3 things.
I don't like how you looked at me when you first said you have to create bad art. I don't like that.
Kyron,
you need examples.
You're an amazing artist now, but I'm sure you put out something that you didn't like.
Kyron, you will be an amazing artist.
Terrible. I love
you, man. You know this.
I hate both of y'all.
But you said something that's very important. Putting your art out there. That's one thing that I struggle with. Yeah. I love to draw, but I refuse to actually put my art out there because I know that I take critiques very I usually don't care about what people comment online. Like, I put stuff online all the time and people say crazy things, but I know that my art is something that I really I take personally. Like, if somebody were to say something about it that's not constructive, like it would be harmful to me. So that's something I got to overcome. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 5, we always do a top 5 list for question number 5. And of course, since we're both fans of Westerns, I'm going to ask, what are your top 5 Western, specifically TV shows?
Oh, TV shows?
TV
okay.
not movies. There's plenty of great movies, but
boy.
top 5 Western TV shows.
Can it be modern Westerns mixed in there too? Or
Yeah,
specifically? Okay. Well, I will say Deadwood's on there. Briscoe County Jr. is on there. I would call Justified a Western.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, how many is that? That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. Oh man, I'm totally blanking out.
You're missing the classics. You're missing the classics now.
You're thinking like Gunsmoke and stuff. Sure, like you gotta have that on there for sure. Oh boy. Oh goodness.
Give me Bonanza, the Rifleman.
The Rifleman, yes, that's a good one. Have Gun Will Travel is also pretty good.
Will Travel,
yeah. So I might have come in there at the last minute there. So
I'll take
some of those.
as long as you got put the Rifleman in your list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, man, I love that show.
Firefly.
Oh yeah. That might be stretching the. I mean, it's a space western, but
yeah,
I don't think that's what Danny was asking about.
Well, I think a lot of like sci-fi operas are kind of. I can see how you would say that as a western.
Yeah.
If it didn't have light speed and stuff like that.
Right.
Sure.
I think Gene Roddenberry described the original Star Trek as wagon trail to the stars, I think.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm actually surprised Star Trek did not pop up a lot more on this episode.
We could talk Star Trek, dude.
Is DS9 yours? Wait, Dan, DS9 is your favorite too, right?
Me?
Or is it Next Generation?
Next Generation for me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still working my way through it. That's part of this big. We haven't talked. We don't have to talk about. But yeah, I'm working my way through the Star Treks. It was one of the COVID sort of decisions we made. My wife and I always talked about. Oh yeah, we always loved Next Generation. We never popped on when we were kids, and so let's just watch it. And so we watched all of Next Generation. Like, well, that was awesome. And I hear DS9 is awesome, so let's watch that. And so we're starting watching that, and then during season 3, I think Voyager started, so we're watching those like opposite each other and getting through those right now. And I don't have a bad thing to say about any Star Trek I've seen. I love every show so far. So
they're not all great, but they are all good. Every Star Trek show, even Lower Decks now is really good.
I love Lower Decks. That show's incredible. Lower Decks
is really good. The nostalgia makes Voyager and DS9 my favorites. Like those were my introduction to Star Trek, but the Next Generation is just great TV.
Yeah, and Strange New Worlds, the new one that's coming out, is super good.
I haven't seen the newest season yet, but
let me tell you what happens at the end. No joke.
It will not matter to me. I got that show, and even the one with Burnham. I don't remember the name of it now.
Picard? With the one with Picard? No.
Right. No.
You thinking of Enterprise? Maybe the one with Scott Bakula?
Burnham.
Discovery.
Discovery, yeah, Discovery was really good. I really enjoyed Discovery, even though the beginning was kind of rocky, but I think that they did a good job with it, all in all. But yeah, we could definitely talk Star Trek. Kyron knows how to set me off, man. He does. He just knows. But yeah, so thanks for doing that this week.
Of course.
Quick Takes has been brought to you by Gemini Comic Supply. If you order on Gemini Comic Supply and use the promo code AcePlay, you will get 10% off your entire order.
Let me write that down, actually.
There you go. Kyron, back to you, man.
I did not get to use that code when I sent out the comps for Panels in Paradise because the boxes are too big for Gemini's. I know. But hopefully when StarCore issue 1 and 2, which is available now on Kickstarter, funds
at StarCoreComic.com.
At StarCoreComic.com. Or you can just search StarCore on Kickstarter. It'll pop up there too. I'll be able to use that code and get 10% off all my purchase. Dan, we appreciate Dan. Sorry, too much D's.
Yeah, it's that kind of show.
Yeah,
we appreciate you being on. We want to make sure our audience follows you and your endeavors. And I've been looking. I cannot find where Titanium Daddy came from. I can tell you though that it was 2 years ago, back in 2023 is when we originally started calling you that. But I don't know why.
Yeah, I think this might have been just something that you came up with, dude.
No, I know it was a conversation we had with Colossus. There was something connected to Colossus. I don't know what. I don't know where it stemmed from there. But anyways, where can people follow you? Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. Where can people follow me? I think the best place to follow me, well, go to longjohncomic.com to make sure you stay up to date with Long John as it starts posting the final chapter on Monday, October 27th, 3 pages a week. That's still going to be many months. It's a long book. I think it's 59 pages long. So we got a long book to go through.
And I have read all 59 pages, and they are fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Wow.
I do have to admit that Long John is one of my favorite comics. I do read the web series, but when it comes out physical, I actually do buy. I have bought each issue, so I will admit that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I know you've always said really nice things about Long John. That means the world to me. And I hope that you've enjoyed the last chapter as well. But I think the other place to find me, where I post the most, would be Instagram. You can find me at D Bethel Comics on there. I might think I'm also at D Bethel Comics on Blue Sky. And then, I think those are the two places I go to the most. But I try to post. There's a Facebook group for Long John, facebook.com/LongJohnComic. But Instagram, Blue Sky, D Bethel Comics is the best place to find me.
Okay. Danny, where can people check you out or check out your work?
I just was looking up D Bethel, and Bethel Music came up, and I was like, 2.2 million followers. I did not know about this.
What can I say? I'm super popular.
This is not.
I mean,
no, that Bethel Music is very different. There's some documentaries about that.
We already talked about him providing us with the theme song for Quick Takes, so
right.
And he gave us that on discount. Just letting you know.
Hey, I was about to say no. But yeah, you can find me at fourthwallpros.com. Starting next week, you can go over to Fourth Wall Pros /Kickstarter, and it'll take you directly to our Ballad of the Black Rose Kickstarter, and you can find me on social media at the Ace Blade on all social media platforms. Kyron, where can people find you?
Okay, I need y'all to listen, and I'm gonna do this. I need everybody to go to starcorecomic.com. That's the only place I need you to go. Don't follow me anywhere on social media. Just go to starcorecomic.com. I am $22 away from hitting the 60% mark, so I just need y'all to go there. That's all, starcorecomic.com. And then after the Kickstarter fund, you can reach me at tauruscomics.com. I am at Taurus Comics on all social media platforms, all that good stuff. But for right now, go to starcorecomic.com. Join us next week, though. We are going to do Fortnite Friday.
Oh.
I know we said we were going to do this week, but Danny was like, no, he really wanted to talk to Dan Bethel about Long John. So we said, all right, we'll
want to play Battlefield instead of Fortnite?
No, not really, but
Fortnite it is, man.
But until then, everybody, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
StarCoreComics.com.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.